Hello guys, Mr. Wednesday here, back at it with another video. So today we're actually on a Bev's account right here. He is a member of the Sync cluster, which is the cluster I'm in. And actually we did a 3 versus 3 arena takeover on his account. Now I want to mention, I actually already filmed this video, but for some reason my Filmora did not activate when I bought it, and there's just a big watermark saying Filmora straight throughout the video. So I really did not want to bring out any bad content, at least visually bad content, onto this channel. And also I learned a lot more about making the videos more visually better, and then I just wanted to come back here and go through the champions again. I'll show you the initial fights that were filmed through a voiceover actually at the end of the video. So if you are perhaps interested in seeing that as well, you can go ahead and just skip over there. Now if you want to see the builds, I'll go right into them right now. The builds are still the same, like the ones you'll be seeing in the video. So first of all, we have an arbiter. We actually built a blender team here. I'll be coming out with how to build a blender team, given that actually I've been getting messages around how you actually use the arena calculator that's on the Deadwood Jedi's website, and I've noticed that a lot of people still perhaps do not know how to do that, even though a lot of content creators already made a video about it. So I will be making one. It's gonna be a really short one, not really gonna even count it as a video. So as for the arbiter, again, just max speed, unless you're going for something else with her build. Now we did get 332 accuracy, which was honestly just a lucky hit, because his fastest chest piece, I believe, is accuracy, and then his fastest banner is already also accuracy. Then from arbiter we go into Longbeard, who, if you ask me, is perhaps not in everybody's opinion the best, but at least in my opinion, the best blender ally attack champion, because he does give plus 20% additional damage. I'm just gonna take him out of the vault here really quickly. Let me just find him now. Yeah. So we just speed tuned him to arbiter at 283 speed. The crit rate again is just lucky here. Same thing from crit damage. You do not need any of these stats. You do not need to achieve 100% crit rate if you perhaps cannot do that on your account. The only important thing here is actually speed tuning him to your arbiter, so you do not get cut in on and get defeated, right? Then we have a Skull Crown and Sinesha team up. Let me just find them really quickly. So we have a Skull Crown here. Speed is unimportant. We achieved 4.2 times the base attack here in basically 6.4k, and then obviously you do want 100% crit rate and then as much crit damage as you can get. I always advise people, at least when it comes to arena, to actually check the how would I explain it, the damage calculator. Perhaps I'm not really 100% sure if that's how it's called, because there's a difference between basically the attack you have and then the crit damage you have. So perhaps you could have too much attack or too much crit damage, so you can basically take one out and increase the other to increase the efficiency of the damage you output onto the enemies. Then we have our Sinesha here, who's basically in a very similar build. So basically we reached, what's that, almost 5 times her base attack. Again, 255 crit damage, 100% crit rate. Speed is unimportant. They will ally attack, and that's the end of the fight. Then in our second team we have our Lydia, who I actually remember wishing I could have built more tanky, but I did want her to have enough accuracy to actually debuff everyone. Now, as I've told my client, because the takeovers was actually, I believe, 10 days ago or something, if he notices that the Lydia is actually debuffing enemies regularly, we will cut out the accuracy, either on the chest piece or on the banner. and actually change it for an HP one so that she gets more survivability, right? We also have one reaction accessory here. Even though it's attack, I'm gonna go on limb here and say that even an attack ring on somebody like Lydia, if it's a reaction accessory and you actually plan on going second with that team, is a great fit. Do not run away from perhaps a bad main stat ring, or even a necklace or a banner. If it's a reaction accessory and you do plan on going second with the team, it's not a bad idea at all. Then as for the second one, here we have our trusty Mountain King, who we built in one set Relentless and then a broken set piece. We did reach 194 speed, 93k HP, and then 100% crit rate and 234 crit damage. Now as for his boots, they are speed. I wish, actually let me recheck since we're back here 10 days after the initial takeover. I wish we could have gotten for we could have gone for this, but sadly there just wasn't enough good crit rate on HP percent boots alongside speed, so he would really just lose a lot of speed. So we would have to change the build up just a tad bit to make up for it. So let's just check what happens when you go to +8 here, and I'm gonna explain who else is in the team while we wait. So we here have Rector Dread, who's gonna have, well, basically two main roles in the team. It's first of all placing the perfect whale, and then also healing people through the same ability, and then basically just reviving people on her A2 if perhaps somebody dies. So let's see what happens actually, and can we find better gloves for him perhaps, and just reach a tad more crit rate. So actually these ones are not better. They do give a bit more crit rate, so that's something to keep in mind. And then we would 100% need crit damage gloves that are in speed set, and then sadly I just do not think we'll get enough crit rate here. So I'm gonna actually stop the video right here for just a second and see if I can rebuild him really quickly. And we're back. Sadly the build has not changed actually, given that the crit rate just wasn't gonna happen, at least not at 100%, and you certainly do want 100% crit rate, at least when it comes to the arena. Now I do want to show the masteries for him really quickly. The masteries actually weren't changed, so I'm gonna change them really quickly right here. So we'll go from crit rate into crit damage, and then into the Heart of Glory, and then we want basically your typical nuker masteries, at least when it comes to the arena. Now here, for each dead ally, we do assume many will die before him, and will actually end up in the Helm Smasher. Targets with higher max HP just isn't gonna happen with him, given how much HP he actually has. So I'm gonna go for Cycle of Violence here, and then we do expect him to use his A1 at least 2-3 times, so methodical isn't a bad idea at all. Now here, because he does have a really strong A1 as well, I will end up in the counter attack mastery, which you can see me not do actually all the time. Throughout some other videos I'm gonna explain why the counter attack masteries are not always what you want when it comes to the arena. So now that we actually changed up his build, we'll go and show off Brogni, who's in the same team as he is. Let me just find Brogni really quickly here. Was he involved perhaps? Brogni is not involved, so I'm blind as always. As I always say throughout my videos, I'm always blind, but when I do takeovers, and especially these videos, I'm more blind. Okay, so here we went for as max possible HP as we could have fit into the build, and then actually we did want some resistance, so he can actually perhaps not get stunned or true feared or locked out by a Hedgie or anything similar, so he can go and actually place the block debuffs. And then we do want him well, to some degree, I'm gonna say speedy, so he actually circles back to his abilities quicker. Now the shield actually here is actually gonna work really nicely, especially since this is a go second team. I truly wish we had more reaction accessories here, given that we have 0, but sadly we just didn't, even the equipped ones, so this is the best fit we could have gone with. And then as for the last champion in this comp, we have our trusty Raptor Dread here, who's basically built with enough resistance to again resist, so she can heal, to some degree protect people through the perfect whale she places on them, and then as well be able to resist so she can revive. The speed is not insane. I wish it could have been a bit higher, but it sadly just couldn't. Now again, the gear overall, as you can see on many places, we have many 5-star equipment, so it's not really like the most end game we could have made. I truly wish we could have fit more HP into her build, at least like 70k, but it's fine. For now, she's working really nicely from what I've been told. And then as the last team, we have a Chimera lead team. Chimera here is actually in a double speed, 1 perception set, so a nice amount of accuracy. I wish he was again just a tad bit faster. Sadly we just couldn't find any more speed here. Now again, I believe some of the gear here was unglyphed when it comes to speed, or the glyphs were at least somewhat smaller. Yeah, like +2 here, +3 there, and then the banner is actually unglyphed. Yeah, so that's still something that can be improved. Now in the same team we have a Valkyrie here, who's again built with as much accuracy as we could have gotten away with. If I could have increased her accuracy even more by dropping the speed by 10 or 15, I would have done that. Sadly the gear just wasn't cooperating with what I have had planned. And then again, you want the least amount of crit rate here, and I'm gonna really quickly explain why, even though I actually explained that in all of my TV3 takeovers. So I do hope you perhaps already know the answer to why I do that on some of the champions where it's befitting. So basically, when you head to the mastery screen, there is this little small mastery called Cycle of Revenge. So basically, when you have this on your champion and any other ally on your team is attacked with a critical hit, this champion will get a turn meter increase. And then with Wallach, we actually, and I'm now gonna explain why we do not want that, because we have first of all Evil Eye, which is gonna decrease the turn meter by 20% when on a single target skill, which she does have on A1. And then in addition to that, her A1 actually also decreases the turn meter by 10% on each hit. So technically, if you crit hit, you do decrease their turn meter by 40% altogether, but then again you increase the turn meter of somebody else by 15%, which is no good. That's not what you want. So if we're going for this build, I advise just fitting in the least amount of crit rate you can basically fit. Then we have a Ceres who actually pairs here perfectly. So the idea here is control them through Valkyrie, sleep them with Chimera, and then debuff them with Ceres, who actually doesn't attack, she just places the debuffs onto the opponents, so she won't wake them up. And then obviously for the Ceres build, we just again want her somewhat speedy, and then again as much accuracy as you can fit in. This is the build that you will most likely see on all Ceres builds ever. And then finally we have a Folly here. Folly is gonna be our third nuker. He again is built somewhat speedy, 100% crit rate, and then as much crit damage and attack as we could have possibly given him. Now I do wanna say again here, we just have your typical nuker masteries. Now when it comes to Chimera, Ceres and Valkyrie, they will have the same masteries, at least when it comes to tier 6, because we do want accuracy on all of them, so we will go for Eagle Eye. Now again, I said at one point in the video, I do not want counterattack masteries on everybody. One of them is Chimer. As you can see, you do not have any counterattack masteries here, because I do not want to bad crit on somebody when I actually did not plan on that happening, and then actually we lose because they get the turn meter increase through this mastery, and then you'll see actually him having again the least amount of crit rate that I could have fit in. Now I'm not saying you should go out of your way to decrease your crit rate, like lose on speed or accuracy here just for the sake of losing crit rate is not okay. But if you can basically like choose between a piece with the same speed but one does not have crit rate, just please go for that, for that gear piece. Basically that's all I'm saying. Let me just think if there's anything basically else I want to add. I do not think there is. The masteries otherwise are pretty similar on all our debuffers. We want Eagle Eye as the last mastery. Then obviously I have shown you the nuclear masteries we have, and then for Rector, who's actually apart from Arbiter obviously, but in the Arbiter team we do not actually bet on that happening. But since we are going second in the Rector team, I do have one mastery which I really love on my revivers, and that's actually Spirit Haste, because she will gain 8 speed for each dead ally. So she'll be able to come back quicker and actually revive somebody if they die, which is lovely for your, again, revivers, right? So I'm gonna actually cut the video here really quickly, and then I'll go and show you the initial fights, because I do want you to see the original fights that I have filmed previously. As I said, the quality is a tad bit worse than in this part of the video, so I do hope you stick around. This is actually the last video I have had something like that happen, so from now on it's just gonna be quality content and nothing else. So without further ado, thank you all for stopping by, thank you all for liking the videos and subscribing, and without further ado I'll just get into that part of the video. And hello guys, this is Mr. Wednesday from the future. So basically what I'm doing here now is just clicking refresh, so we actually get a fresh list of the opponents, just so you can 100% be sure that the opponents weren't like chosen or like picked or something. I truly just always do that whenever I'm recording a video. Then you can see me here actually clearly setting up the teams. I just went back to check what arbiter it was, because he does have 2. Now looking for Longbeard most likely, because as always I do not see the champions when I need to. So we found our Longbeard. Then I probably go and check if we have the correct Skull Crown. I then remember that actually Skull Crown needs to go before our Sinesha, so I do make sure to actually position her to be first in the team after Arbiter, and then I actually choose Longbeard as the last one. I believe the presets have already been made, so we just go into setting the second team here, which is basically just going to be Lydia, and then I'm not actually sure in what positions I put whose, but basically, you know, Rector, and then Mountain King, and finally Brogni, when I actually find them all, which is just not happening here. Okay, can we find Brogni? Can we find him? Okay, I found Mountain King, that's lovely. Yes, David, yes, that's where Brogni is. Awesome, awesome. It's just funny kind of watching me like do this in the past, because as I said, this was like filmed 10 days ago, and then just like doing a voiceover now. Okay, so here we go into presets. Do I actually change anything here? Yes, I do. I tell Ceres to basically use her A3 as the opener. I tell Valk to use A1 as the opener, and then I do one of the sleep ability as the opener again. And now I actually think we straight up go into fights. So I choose our speed team against theirs, then our Lydia team against theirs basically, and then finally our Chimer team against oh, that's a Lysandra team. Okay, so I actually now change it up so that our second team goes against their speed team. because as I said, our Kymar is 279 speed, so not like through the roof, so I did not want to risk it. I actually have no idea how these battles went. I'm not sure if I lost some or not, so we'll have to find out together basically. So the blender works perfectly there. Then here we actually go, we sleep them all. Series is gonna debuff them. I'm gonna probably hit Lydia here, yes, to drop her turn meter. Now let's see what Folly can do. I'm not sure if we one-shot them here or not. Okay, so basically 2 die. He's gonna buff them. I'm gonna reset. I'm gonna wrongly... Okay, I actually do not make a mistake there. And actually drop here turn meter. I debuff them, and now I believe we just killed them all, right? No, the Mountain King just does not want to die. And then let's see if we can actually take out the Mountain King without any nukers. He's pretty much killing us here. That's just the power of well-built Mountain King. I also do not like cut out my losses in the videos. I hate when basically anyone does that. Everybody can lose a fight, and just because you lose one fight does not mean the team is bad or that it's not working. It just means you lost one fight, right? So I just dislike being dishonest, and that's not what my channel is ever gonna be about. So if I lose, I lose. We'll win next time. It's fine. Nobody is gonna cry about it. Now let's see. This is actually also me first time testing the teams, so I have zero clue how they were going to operate, right? So here our two resistance people do not get debuffed, which is beautiful. Rotos goes for Mountain King for some reason. We get an extra turn there from the Relentless. And now I just think I start spamming them because there's no revivers. So I'm not sure why I choose Helmet first, or will I? Oh, I go for Coroner. He does not die, which is kinda logical given what buffs he has on him, so I'm not sure what I was honestly going for there. That's not what I should have done, but it's okay, it's okay. I actually think we win this fight if I remember correctly. So we again get provoked, which is fine. We also have a reviver. Okay, so we are going to smack him to the ground there. And then we go for Rotos. As I said, there's no revivers. So the first second we take out all the damage on their side, we're good to go. So the Rotos is in Relentless, which is okay, which is why he got the extra turn there. Then we go and actually nerf her, so she cannot steal our turn meter, even if she wanted to. Rector is gonna resist it anyway. And now we, I believe, yeah, decrease the turn meter on Rotos. We again buff everybody. And now it's just a waiting game of actually beating them. So yeah, I believe we have like 7 or 8 fights. At least I wanna think that's how many we have. That's usually the amount of testing I do for each video I make. I obviously test further. Afterwards, I just do not like prolonging the videos like eternally. So I just test them to some degree. So as you can see, we actually started in Silver 3. And sadly, I forgot to show you that we're now already in Silver 4. So things are working very fine. Now here we have what, an arbiter team first, basically a normal spin team. So I just click start. I actually did not get to see the other teams, so we'll see what I did here. They're faster, which is no good. And will they kill us? Oh, actually, here's a problem when it comes to bad speed tuning. They weren't speed tuned and we got in. And that's exactly why I keep preaching speed tune your speed arena teams. So here we actually get debuffed. Folly cannot get provoked. So I'm here now just thinking, what do I do? And I believe I actually lose this fight because I chose poorly. That's also a really fast martyr. Given that our Kymar has a 30% arena lead. Aura, and then also we do have a 279 speed on him, so the fact she went first is just really interesting to me. Now again, just I did leave it full auto. That's definitely not what you should do. I skipped the battle and I'm not really sure why. I think I disliked something and then I changed it. Oh no, I just knew I was gonna lose, obviously. Yeah, that makes much more sense. So here we again go buff ourselves some more. And now is the question of who do we target here. So I go for Progny and we one-shot him. Now the beauty of Lydia here is actually Syl won't get to revive Brogny because Lydia is going to block her revive. But the fact is we could not use Lydia's A3 there because everybody had block buffs on them. And now actually this is the reason why I love Brogny. So our Brogny put up the shield, Rotos came to attack us, and given the reflect damage Brogny has in his kit, Rotos actually killed himself. So we just take out Syl here, and now it's just the question of taking out Vogot. Which, given that he's the strong affinity to our Mountain King, could just take a little bit of time, but it's fine. We'll get through it really quickly. Lovely, lovely to see. Yeah, so the third team, again, speed first. I believe I do not change anything here. At least I wouldn't right now. I'm explaining... Oh, no, actually, do I not? Yeah, I say that the Duchess is, again, strong affinity to our Mountain King, but I still do not change the team. Volk is in the Swift parry, that's okay. We'll just wait and then kill her. Now we get a small postpone in the loading screen, and now we go sleep them really quickly here, debuff them. I think you already know the drill when it comes to this team. Now, even though he's weak affinity to our Volk, we still go for him, which makes sense. Now I do want to target Mashal here because he's gonna otherwise place that pesky True Fear on us, which I certainly didn't want here. So I go for him. And now it's just a question of taking out the... whoever that was, I honestly did not see. It was just so fast. So here they try and debuff us, we debuff them, we buff ourselves further, and now is the question, what can our Mountain King do? So he goes for Duchess, obviously, everybody else is under a whale, so only she can get targeted here, and it's a weak hit as well, I believe. If I saw that correctly. I'm not really sure if we win this fight or not. I honestly, as I said, I honestly have no clue, so I'm basically like watching this for the first time, like you are right now. Given the fact that I did record the fights, right? But it was like 10 days ago, as I said, so I honestly just do not remember the outcome of each and every one of them. So if I'm surprised, it's a real surprise. It's not faked. I do think we actually win here, or did we end up losing? Yeah, she's gonna block the revive. Yeah, I think we'll lose here. Oh no, actually, Lydia comes back. Okay. We pull a Lydia on there, Lydia. Now, sadly, we cannot buff our Mountain King because he has block buffs, debuff on himself, but we can debuff them. And now actually, do we take out Duchess? I'm not sure. We'll see. So he's gonna go for our Brogny, that's okay. She keeps attacking our Mountain King, which is just funny to me, but it's okay. Okay, so we take her out. Oh yeah, so I basically just target Duchess now, trying to kill her before she gets revive again, and she sadly does. So this fight just goes on for a lot longer than it should have. And now the problem is I actually revived Brogny just a second before their Mountain King actually one-shot our Lydia here. So I do not have a revive to bring her back, but it's okay. I believe we just slap Duchess here in the next turn, if I remember correctly. Oh no, we actually die here. I'm not sure we win this fight actually. We most likely do not. Unless Rector gets a revive here really quickly now, perhaps. And she does, okay. So we bring... no, we don't. Okay. Yeah. That's a loss. That's a loss, definitely. We get a counterattack there, but it doesn't matter really. So these teams seem somewhat easy to me, so I'm wondering what I chose to do here. I go into presets, I'm gonna check on something. Oh yeah, because in the last fight he used the refresh skill instead of sleep, so something definitely went wrong with the presets. I'm not sure how or why. And then I do decide to change the team ups. That's okay, because obviously their third team is a fast one. So the first fight again, we're faster. The blender just does not lose. It's too good. So here we definitely are slower. Do we get stunned here? No, we don't. That's fine. They all get the buffs. I believe we go for Seal first, but I'm not sure. No, we actually go for Seeker. That's a weird choice, but it's okay. Relentless comes in. So she's gonna just stupidly try and debuff everybody, but thankfully that does give us increased speed and strengthen, which is terrific in a defensive, more defensive team, so to say. I truly believe we win this fight. I cannot see us losing, honestly, here. That seal is actually really nicely built. She also did have some nice buffs on her, but either way around, she survived a pretty strong hit from Mountain King. Do we get stunned? Only Lydia gets stunned, and now we one-shot her, which means there's no actual revivers there anymore. So we go for obviously the Sky Touch next, because I do not want those revive on dead buffs coming back. And sadly they do. That's okay, we're just gonna hit her here. She's not gonna get block revived because Lydia's passive is still on cooldown. So I just want to mention here again, if you're building a similar type of comp, well actually if you're building any arena team ever in your life, the arena is just about testing. I'm not talking classic arena. If you're just building a classic arena team and it's not like for platinum, it's okay if you like. I mean, you shouldn't. But again, if it's like a speed team, and even then you lose some fights, that's okay. You know, sometimes opponents will be faster than you. Sometimes their skull crown is just too good. So yeah, for classic arena, not so much. But for 3v3 arena, it's all about testing. You need to test your builds, your comps, your synergies. Sometimes the team can look good on paper, and then just like your gear or perhaps their speeds are off, so something is not working. You just need to keep working on those, because I truly believe that once you achieve a really good synergy, you will enjoy 3v3 a lot more. Even if you lose sometimes, that's okay. Also, if you perhaps just stop improving at some point, like let's say you get to silver 4 and you just get stuck for like a 2 3 4 weeks period, that's okay. You'll improve, you'll get better gear, you'll perhaps pull a better champion. It's all fine. You do not need to straight away just get down on you, basically get down, and not in a sense of like feeling sorry for yourself. I just mean like you shouldn't give up straight away. I'm sorry, English is hard sometimes. English is definitely hard sometimes, given that it's basically my third, fourth language. So I do struggle sometimes. But yeah, that's what I mean. You should not be giving up easily. It's fine if you lose sometimes. It's fine if you like do not get promoted each week. It's truly okay, as long as you keep improving and trying to find new comps. Perhaps there's a champion who nobody actually figured out is good for the arena so far. Maybe you are the one who's gonna find that champion. It's all fine. Like you will progress at some point again, and then you'll just laugh at yourself like, oh my god, I was so stressed, and you really shouldn't be. It's a game. So that's again the point of my channel, just like trying to help people, because I do not want you to be stressed over a game where you should really just be enjoying yourself playing it. So yeah, just don't get down on yourself and like just think, oh my god, this is not for me, I'm gonna quit the game. Just take it easy. Try and perhaps test out the different builds, different champions again. Perhaps if you already have a speed team but it's not a blender, you can build a blender and then free up the other three champions you have initially on your speed team and then use them in some of the other teams. And perhaps through that you achieve different synergies, right? And then different team comps which work better or worse. Again, some champions just need to be countered. So if your initial three teams are not perhaps like a block debuff team or a cleanse team for like anti-Tormin or like anti-Hedgy, you do need to make some teams to specifically counter them, or just completely try and avoid them altogether. Both are fine. If you perhaps do not have the champions for that, it's okay. Just like stay away from those teams and you'll be fine. Like here we do have a Hedgy, and I'm actually not sure what happens in this fight. So Brogni did not get debuffed, which is lovely to see. And then for really sad reasons, we do not one-shot their Hedgie there because he's just a tiny bit more tanky. And then the same thing happens with the Gorgorab. Again, sometimes, it just happens, and that's okay. They're gonna attack us here, but we are shielded, so they are basically going to do the damage to themselves. Now, sadly, we do not have a reviver, but we do have an off revive from Lydia there through her passive, which is lovely, and you really should learn how to utilize that more so it works in your favor, right? Now, again, Mountain King sadly goes for a Rector again, but it's okay. We should be able to slap him down here, which we will. And now it's just a matter of time before we take out the Gorgorab, so he does not come back to revive again because we do not have Lydia's passive off of cooldown yet. And then it's just the logic of taking out the Valkyrie. I actually only now realize how much I'm actually enjoying doing this post-record voiceover, because I do get to talk about other content related stuff, and perhaps that's something that helps you, because that's truly just the only reason behind my channel. I just want to help people enjoy the game more and perhaps learn something new or find out something new, and just not like get angry or like stressed of because of a game, because it is a game. It should be your time of enjoyment, not your time of getting stressed. Life is stressful enough on its own, and the game just shouldn't be that. So that's the main idea behind my channel, and that's the reason I do these videos. I also stopped commenting over the Blender team for the obvious reasons of we're either faster and we win, or we're not and we lose. There's not much to add there. And then again, in the Chimera team, it's the same thing over and over again, so I just do not really comment over it because you've already seen it all. It's basically sleep, drop, turn meter, debuff, nuke, and then repeat because of the refresh skill Chimera has. So I do not really want to like bore you and just say the same things over and over again during these fights. And then when I get to our Lydia team, then I start commenting again. So here, what you do not want to do is target Vogot at any point, especially if you like have an AoE champion, AoE nuker. I would just straight up go for the single target against Vogot teams, because he's gonna, otherwise, if you do not nuke them straight away, just gonna keep on healing and it's gonna prolong the fight more. And you do really want to get through arena fights quickly, because the tide can turn because of one bad mistake or something, and you really do not want to be losing fights because of something like that. Here is basic full auto again. I just targeted Seal there so she cannot revive people, and now it's just a matter of time before we take out Vogot. So as you could have seen, sometimes we lost one fight, sometimes we won all three. We didn't lose like the whole segment of 3 fights even once. So the teams really work nicely. As I said, you will lose some fights. It's inevitable. No three teams are totally like perfect. So with a good opponent, you will lose sometimes, and again, that's okay. You should not be angry with yourself. That does not mean your team is bad. It just means you lost one fight, you'll come back, and you'll win again. Oh, actually, Magnar really hit us there. Funny. Magnar is a terrific champion. If you're looking for a good nuker and you're not sure who to build, Magnar is terrific. I actually just got mine like I don't know 10 days ago I believe, and I've built him since, and he's truly awesome. So I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. Oh yeah, I'm explaining why I'm not gonna use Atun Lydia, I believe, which is definitely stupid of me, because I should have used the A2. I'm honestly not sure why I didn't, because we would have gotten strengthen and increased speed. So I'm not really sure what went through my mind there. I was perhaps just a tad bit tired already because it was really late in the day. So maybe I just wasn't thinking good enough there. I mean, I I obviously wasn't, because I should not have done that. But it's okay. So here again, she has block debuffs, so I'm explaining something, and I'm still not going for A2. I'm definitely tired here because this should not be happening, definitely. Either way, I do believe we win this fight, if I remember correctly. I mean, I know we do because I remember I went 9 fights without a loss. That I do remember. I'm just not sure which single fights we lose, so I'm pretty sure we do not lose here. At least I think so. So yeah, I finally remember to use the A2. Not sure why I didn't earlier, so now I go for Duchess because I do want to take her out first so she doesn't heal up more, basically buff everybody, etc. I'm gonna try and go for him there. Gonna lock her out now, and we actually do lock her out. And now I'm just gonna try and slap who? Her. Weak hit again. Lovely to see. It's just a really unfortunate prolongation of the fight, which definitely shouldn't have happened, but it did, so it happens sometimes. It's okay. Sometimes your fight will last a couple of seconds, sometimes there will go for like 1-2 minutes, unless it's like Platinum Arena and you're just really like trying to get as much wins in like a very short period of time. I honestly do not care if my 3v3 fights last 5 minutes. It's okay, it's all full auto. I just let it play out, do something else. It's fine. Nobody cares. So here we smack him, then we go for Seeker. At least I hope we do. Because as I said, you do want to target Vogot last, if you ask me. So he does not heal people. So yeah, we target Seeker here. I actually believe there is only one more fight after this one. I'm not really sure, but given that the video is only like 1-2 minutes long from this point on, I do believe we're getting closer to the end. Taking out Vogot may last a bit more because he's weak affinity, and we actually one-shot him, which is beautiful. And then yeah, the last fight is here. So here I check for I'm not really sure what, given that all 3 are speed teams. So now it's just the question of who do we go with, who do we use our go second team against. And I actually choose the first team, which is not something I would have done right now. I was definitely tired at this point already. I wouldn't have done that because I truly believe we could have been faster here, but it's okay. I don't think Shajar actually gets, he actually does get bombs onto us, but only onto Mountain King, so that's okay. She'll get provoked, which is unfortunate. And then we're just gonna buff ourselves. Do I go for Sifi first here? I'm not really sure. I do. Ooh, that's a well-built Sifi. She actually healed herself, which is nice to see. And then I actually did pray our Mountain King dies here, because as you can see, I actually did not revive with Rector. I knew my Lydia is gonna revive basically off of her passive, because Sifi was going to try and revive their Abyss, and that's actually how I turned basically the fight into my favor here through Lydia's passive. So Lydia is really terrific if you ask me, especially given how basically broken her passive is to some degree. I'm not gonna say like broken like many champions in the game. I just mean like broken in a sense that it's really good for anybody who has her. And then here we just get smacked into the ground, but it's okay. And that, I believe, actually gets us to the end of the video. So I'm just gonna say my outro here. I do really appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by, for liking the videos, and for subscribing. And for more Arena and other content, please be on the lookout, because I will be dropping the videos every other day basically. And without further ado, I just want to thank you all again, and until the next video, Mr. Wednesday signing out.